No, you're not allowed to be Jewish. And on the Democrat ticket, if Josh Shapiro's name were Josh Smith, he'd be the VP nominee or name.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Billionaire's Mindset. I'm your host, Harry Billion. So it seems like ever since President Biden dropped out of the race and Vice President Kamala Harris took over the ticket, the Republicans, the GOP, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to say, how to address this situation, this new wave, what's going on, all of this new momentum and the enthusiasm that is now the Democratic Party and their nominee, Kamala Harris, and her new running mate, Tim Walz. They're saying anything and everything. It's like a comedian going to a new club downtown Manhattan and trying out new material. Anything, just say something, do something, anything that sticks. Donald Trump is saying anything to see if anything would stick. And it seems like the only thing that has stuck so far that is getting some type of weird traction on their side of the tracks, them saying that Kamala Harris is not black. She's not black? No idea why they're going with that. I get it. This one is not for his white base. This one is actually for the black folk that feel some kind of way about Kamala Harris. So basically, Trump and his team are like, all right, cool. We need the black vote. So let's tap into that base of the black community that feels some kind of way about people who are not all the way black. Let's tap into that. And guess what? It's a really good idea if we say she ain't black. Yeah, let's go with that. Yo. Hey, I'm a filmmaker and I know how to write scripts. I've written films before, okay? I went to school for filmmaking. I cannot write this. The stuff that is coming out of the Republicans' mouths, I can't make it up. I'm really good at coming up with stuff, fictional stuff, and this one, I cannot make this up. But anyway, I got a few clips that we're going to look at with Republicans just not being able to help themselves and just saying a bunch of weird things that just don't make any sense whatsoever. Let's look at this first clip.
If Shapiro were not Jewish, would he have been chosen?
Yes. I can say that unequivocally without any data.
The Democrat Party has a massive anti-Semitism problem. That is why they did not pick Josh Shapiro.
The pro-Hamas radical left of the Democrat Party said, no, you're not allowed to be Jewish. And on the Democrat ticket, if Josh Shapiro's name were Josh Smith, he'd be the VP nominee or named right now.
If his name was Josh Smith, he will be on that ticket. So I wonder if the Republicans just gather in a little room and they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. No matter who Kamala would have chosen, they were going to pick something and go with it. The first thing they want to go with, because Josh Shapiro was Jewish, that's why he's not on this. And then for 1 second, you think about the fact that Kamala's husband, the first man to be, is Jewish. There ain't no diabolical plan or the huddling together and saying, there's no way you can choose my people. Do not choose a Jewish person because we are pro-Hamas. What do they know what to do? Like Republicans, GOP, do y'all really know what to do at this point? Because I don't get it. Kamala's husband is Jewish. She is not this pro-Hamas candidate that's trying to secretly promote Hamas agendas. What are y'all spinning? These politicians are playing to the base. I have a question. So how many of y'all really believe that? If you are Republican, right, how many of y'all really believe that? These are conversations I've been having behind closed doors, behind some of my family members who just don't care about politics, right? Some friends who just like, look, man, I'm a filmmaker. I don't care about none of that stuff. Harry B., I don't know how you are a filmmaker and you constantly talking about this stuff. Now I get to have it with y'all. And I want to know, if you're out there and you're Republican, in the comments, talk to me. Do you really believe this stuff? I want to know if this stuff ever lands with your conscience. And then if it does, why does it land? How does that work? Because I know that all of this stuff is propaganda. Some of these people don't believe the stuff that they're saying. Some of these people go home and they know that they're playing a game. They know that there's a group of people out there who are susceptible to fear-mongering. They know that fear-mongering works with them. So I want to know, how many of y'all out there really believe this stuff? I mean, are there anybody that's going to be swayed? This specific clip, which one of the Republican groups does it really affect, or does it really reach? I would like to know. Because at the end of the day, certain things they say, it does resonate with certain groups of people. Is it the Jewish community and Jewish voters that they're trying to attract? Is it sympathizers that they're trying to get? Allies of the Jewish community that they're trying to persuade? I don't know if most people know about Kamala Harris's husband being Jewish. I don't know how many people know that. I understand politics is a weird game, and you have to try to tap into different groups, and you say certain things and you repeat it, you keep saying it until it resonates with certain groups, and then they go and vote accordingly. We're not in other people's minds to think like, oh, there's no way they believe that. I know all sides, right? Whether you're independent, you're Republican, you're Democrat, we all fall for something. You ever have conversations with your group of friends thinking, who's really falling for this? I know politics is kind of weird, but do you ever think who's really, really falling for this? Who out there is really falling for this? When you have conversations with individuals, everybody seems to be smart. Everybody seems to be on the side of, I know better than this. If that's the case, then how could stuff like this, how can we fall for, let's run it back. How can we fall for stuff like this? Like, seriously, there's no way we're falling for stuff like this. And look at this black guy, like they got pawns. They got pawns out here saying stuff, and I wonder when people go home to their families, do they say, "Phew, man, so glad I'm home. I can't believe I had to say this and I had to say that."
If Shapiro were not Jewish, would he have been chosen?
Yes. I can say that unequivocally without any data.
Look at the concern, right? look at the concern in this guy's eyes and on his face. I can say that unequivocally and without any data. What data do you ever see Republicans adding to anything? The base that you're trying to reach, they don't need no data. You really don't care about data. You don't try to kill them with data because you're saying stuff like this. Like, I can say that unequivocally without any data. There was a long list of people, narrowed it down to 3, and she finally chose Tim Walz. And now you just got this venom in your eyes like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset that you chose this guy. I'm so upset that you chose the non-Jewish person. Come on, bro. Like, you really that upset that she didn't choose the Jewish guy? You would have been so happy if Shapiro would have been the one chosen. I'm sure you'll have responses or something you would have said about Shapiro if she had chosen Shapiro. Something about his background, his record, maybe his dating habits in high school. All of the sides, y'all go find the most scandalous thing to try to get on these candidates. But for this to be the first thing that you're saying, it's a good sign for the Democrats, actually. For this to be what y'all are leaning on, the fact that he's not Jewish and she didn't choose the Jewish person, and you didn't go after his records right away. You didn't go after something weird he said. You didn't go after something weird, right? Because Shady Vance, that tag weird is stuck. Just like you're trying to find something that can stick with Kamala Harris. You called her a whore. You said she slept her way to the top. You know what I'm saying? Even though your candidate is sleeping with porn stars, you're trying to find stuff that can stick. Anything that'll just stick. You're just throwing stuff out there. Would this work? Nope, that didn't work. Would this work? Nope, that didn't work. Let's try this. And now look at that guy's face. I mean, he's just like unequivocally. And it's just like venom is coming out of his face. It's like
Jewish. Would he have been chosen?
Yes. I can say that unequivocally without any data.
Unequivocally without any data.
The Democrat Party has a massive anti-Semitism problem.
The Democrats have a massive anti-Semitism problem. You're upset about the choice. You're likening this to anti-Semitism. That's wild.
That is why they did not pick Josh Shapiro.
The pro-Hamas radical left of the Democrat Party said, no, you're not allowed to be Jewish and on the Democrat ticket. If Josh Shapiro's name were Josh Smith, he'd be the VP nominee.
Yeah, you don't say.
These people will say and do anything for votes. But we as the people out here, we're on the mainland, we have to decide for ourselves what we're going to fall for. What are you going to fall for? Is that going to do it for you? If you're Jewish, does that do it for you? please go to the comments. I want people to talk to me because I want to know, like, do people really fall for this stuff? If you're out there, and I know that you're smarter than this on an everyday level, if somebody, no, I won't hold you, because what I do know is that there are people out there that are as gullible as these people figure that you are. I'm telling you, I have had some conversations with people. They're not willing to listen or hear anything. It doesn't matter what you say. Now, once somebody has made up their minds, I get it. That's your party. That's the person you're going to go with. There's nothing that's going to persuade you to change your mind, and I get it. But I'm interested in understanding or even knowing if there's anybody out there that falls for this stuff. If you're a Republican, do you fall for this stuff? Do you really think that Kamala Harris has this anti-Semitism problem, or the fact that her husband is Jewish? You think the Democratic Party is trying to be anti-Semitic? Let me know. I do find it interesting because politics is a sport. You have to know how to play the sport. We all have these echo chambers where we want to hear the things that affirm the way that we feel. And I get it. You know, we're all persuaded by certain things. If something happens to somebody in my community, I don't go to certain channels and I don't listen to certain people because I know they're going to be the complete opposite, and they're going to be saying the complete opposite of something that I want to hear. So I don't go to them. So I understand how it works. How many of us really are open-minded enough, and we are smart enough to understand that this is a game? How many of y'all out there really understand that all of this stuff is propaganda and it's a game? And do you really know the policies that affect you directly? Like, this is a policy. Are you a free thinker? Because I also submit to you that people who call themselves free thinkers, they're not okay with hearing other thoughts at all, but they say they're free thinkers. Like, if I was to say, hey, I don't like Trump because once I found out that this guy has racist tendencies, whether he's racist or not, I said, not for me. If I tell somebody that I don't like Trump, they say that it's because I'm not a free thinker. If he said he doesn't like Africans and he called African countries, the S word or whatever, he took out a full article in the newspaper and said that the Central Park Five should be executed when the racist dudes was marching in Virginia. He said, well, there's good people on all sides. Once I start listening to that stuff, I'm like, you know what? He's not pandering to any specific group, and I know that he's just going to come back around. He's playing a game. He's not playing no game. And for me, that's a no. But when I tell somebody who really cares about him, who really loves him, no matter what, they say, I'm not a free thinker. And I'm like, so what makes you a free thinker? Because Trump is a free thinker? He's not a free thinker. Let's look at this next clip. All right, so this right here is Michaela Montgomery.
School bus driver in a traffic jam. I'm so happy you all came out to see me. So,
first of all, the first thing that she starts out with is not okay, because we know one thing: Donald Trump is a self-indulged person. Is there footage with Donald Trump's face after she said that? I would love to see Donald Trump's face when she says, I'm glad you guys came out to come and see me. I'm sure he was like, he was feeling some kind of way about this.
I'm so happy you all came out to see me. So, my name is...
In the Black community, this is what we call a hot mess.
Michaela Montgomery. A lot of you guys know me as the girl from Chick-fil-A, but I am so much more than that.
Oh, you a performer, we can tell. Look at that. Look at that shimmy. Look at that shimmy. I get it. Like, I understand the performance arts. I get it. Everybody got to perform to a certain extent, right? I understand it, but this is a political rally. This is something we're supposed to be taking seriously, right? We're not going to be bringing people up on this stage that I don't know if they understand the seriousness of this. We're trying to choose a president of the United States of America. We got Michaela right here, and she's doing her thing. I ain't gonna fault her. Because Trump is a performer too. She's trying to show Trump up.
Not only do I serve as the CEO of Conserve the Culture, I am also the state director for Blexit down here in Georgia. I'm a Fulton County coordinator for America First Works, and I'm also launching a podcast on the Patriots Prayer Network. So put some respect on my name.
I mean, she's just straight up performing. Like, shorty is just straight performing. Put some respect on my name. I'm glad you came out here to see me. It is all about me. But if you look on that podium, it literally says Trump Vance. All right. And I don't know if anybody else have picked this up, but it was Trump Pence. And now we got Trump Vance. There's something there. I don't know yet. I'm going to come up with something. The Republican Party is trying stuff. I'm going to try some stuff and see what sticks. Because Trump Vance and Trump Pence, is something there, and I'm going to figure it out later. I haven't figured it out yet, but let's go ahead and continue this Montgomery performance right here.
Now, why don't we jump right into it? See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter.
Wait, wasn't that in New York? Wasn't that in New York where we got the rent is too dang high? I think that was something that happened in New York and it kind of went viral. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know in the comments, but I think that happened in New York.
Their groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else. So it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they want to vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I would like to know exactly what it is you're talking about.
We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%. And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us Black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy. So I'm going to need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November. They love me. They love me. They really love me.
Yo, you got to stop that. That's embarrassing. They love me. They love me. They really love me. You got to cut that out, bro. Like, it's so embarrassing. I mean, if we're not saying she a hot mess, there's other words for this. And it's just, it's embarrassing. Like, you have that one aunt or that one friend. This is another thing we're going to say. This is like, yo, you doing too much, shorty. Like, shorty, you doing way too much. This is a political rally that's about Trump and Vance. Your name is not on that podium, and you continue to make this about you. And it's amazing how this is okay.
They love me. They really love me.
Trump invited you as his guest, and you're on that stage, and oh, they love me, because Trump does the same. He does a similar thing, right? He wants approval. He wants people to love him, and he would say stuff in interviews. Did you see how many people were there in that crowd? They really love me. I guess she's trying to play into that, and she's a performer. This is actually not Michaela's first time with Trump. She's the type that looks for and seeks attention. When she finds it, she does her best to try to perform for that attention. She's gone viral a couple of times. One time she went viral. She gave Trump a hug, or she went and said something about Trump. Hey, Trump, we love you. Don't worry about what they're saying out there. We love you. And Trump said, come over here and give me a hug. She gave Trump a hug, and then she was like, oh, Mom, I made it. And it was kind of cringe, and it was weird. And she's always trying to seek attention. So, and you know, Trump loves attention and he's trying to win Black people, but he doesn't choose the best of us. He always chooses the worst of us. It's like the news, right? The news is always looking for that cringe Black person to get a statement. And it seems like they're always choosing these cringe Black people to give a platform to. And here she is gyrating all over this stage. This is not what I'm all about. There's more to me than this. You're not showing us the best of you. You're making it about you when it's about Trump and Vance, and you're supposed to promote them and the ticket, not about you.
I want you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the Black community, but all she's done is hurt the Black community since she came into the game.
People keep talking about the savior for the Black community. There's supposed to be this savior syndrome, like we're looking for somebody to save us. Ain't nobody looking for nobody to save nobody, okay? She ain't supposed to be no savior for no Black community. I want to make a point also. She's well-spoken. I understand the performance part because then it goes viral. She's very smart. I'll give her that. She is very smart and very calculated. Just like Trump, you do a certain type of performance or gyration and it's going to go viral. And then when people come and listen to you, you're fairly astute. You're well-spoken. You understand what you're doing. She can articulate herself very well. Way better than Trump. Trump cannot rub two sentences together. Words don't come to him easily. When he talks about her, he's like, yeah, that one is, that's a nice person. That one is the nice person. It's just cringe. So cringe. You're talking about something and you are a single mother and Trump is a convicted felon and he sleeps with porn stars. It's hard to have the conversations because these people can't be serious. You got to think to yourself for 1 second, like, are they really serious? Are they really making the accusations that they're making? Because for you to be taking a righteous stance on something, you yourself have to be a righteous person. And you literally said you were a single mother. So what leg are you standing on? But I don't think that people care about the leg they're standing on. That's the thing that baffles me about this whole thing, because it makes me feel like the Republicans are better with messaging and having an I don't care attitude. I'm just going to give you my message. And the Democrats, they always try to take this moral ground, not understanding that this is politics and you got to go get them no matter what. Maybe you have some pundits that are ruthless just like them, some bulldogs that are ruthless just like them, and you can sick them out there, sprinkle them in the YouTube verse and let them go do the dirty work while you can take the high road. The Republicans can say anything they want to say. They don't care that Trump is the worst candidate. They can't say certain things that they're casting upon the Democrats. They can't cast those things because there is no moral ground to stand on. But they don't care. That's the whole point. They literally don't care at all. And they will drive their message home. It's going to land on certain people's ears and they're going to vote accordingly, just like they're saying. And Trump could win. It's a possibility that Trump could win. He beat Hillary with all of the scandals that were coming out, and scandals after scandals, especially coming from right off of Barack Obama. During the whole presidential campaign with John McCain and Barack Obama, we were still talking about decency and, the proper etiquettes and stuff like that. We were still on that wave. And then Trump came in and just wiped the whole thing out, and he ended up winning, saying stuff like, I can touch women in the crouch and all kinds of foul stuff. And the Christians, they line up and they voted for him because they said he's not the pastor in chief. He's going to be the commander in chief, and he won. So the Republicans don't care. They can use racism. They can use anything. And I'm not saying stoop down to their level. Just like Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. I'm not saying you have to stoop all the way down to their level, but you got to pound home the fact that he's a convicted felon. He sleeps with porn stars when he's married, and all of those things. You got to keep driving that. You got to keep driving that. And I don't care who says, all right, we know, stop saying that now. No, we're not going to stop saying it because they don't care either. All right, guys, listen, man, if you like this type of commentary, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button to help this channel grow. I go by Harry Billion, and this is the Billionaire's Mindset, and thank you for subscribing. I'm out.